5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hello, everybody. This is Alex Bennett. This is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight. You got another one in you, Larry Bubbles Brown?
I got another bullet.
Yeah, you got another one in you. That's what I said to her. Anyway, how you doing, Larry?
Good. That was my favorite sound for some reason. I remember in movies when they'd remove a bullet from some guy in a western and they'd drop it in the metal cup. I always like that sound.
Oh yeah. Or not even that. Like in an operating room, and they pull out a bullet and they put it in. They always have to put it in the pan, don't they?
Yeah, and make that little clink.
Wouldn't you think maybe they put it in a baggie and send it off to the lab to see if there are any fingerprints on the bullet? You know. No, they put it in a pan. Clink.
The clink.
I remember the story of the guy in, I think it was Houston, Texas, when I was living there. I heard about that he had a statue outside of his house of a brass monkey. And on this brass monkey were huge testicles. Okay? And I don't know, somehow scientifically they had created it so when the temperature went below 32 degrees, the testicles would dislodge themselves and fall into a pan, and everybody in the neighborhood could hear clunk. Thereby, you know, they saying, could freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
Literally.
So he created this statue that did that, which I thought was brilliant. I only heard about it. It may just be legend, okay? How many things do you know that are legend, Bubs, that aren't true?
I think most of the stuff we hear, you always hear these great stories, and they always turn out to be not true. So
how about Richard Gere's gerbil?
That had to be false, right?
Well, here's what happens. Everybody knows a doctor that knew a doctor who, right?
Yeah.
Retrieved a gerbil from Richard Gere's ass. Now, Richard Gere, if you're listening, please don't sue me. I'm simply reporting the rumor of the time, and you know it existed too. Okay?
Now, how would that ever start?
Who knows how? Maybe it's true. Maybe that's how it starts. Yeah.
But it's probably not true, and then he has to live with this horrible story for the rest of his life.
And everybody looking at him like, that's the guy with the gerbil up his ass.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever denied the story, but by denying it, he would give it credence, you know?
Exactly.
And so you just avoid it. Plus, he's had a good career anyway, he and his gerbil. And they've appeared in, you know, a lot of big pictures like Pretty Gerbil. Remember Pretty Gerbil? He was in that. And Days of Gerbils. I remember that picture. Beautiful picture.
American Gerbil.
American Gerbil. Yeah, he was in that. So he did a lot of major gerbil films in his time.
Yeah. What are some of the other showbiz rumors that probably weren't true?
Let me see here. What was it? Well, there was one about Jamie Lee Curtis. That she's not a guy, but she was born with an overabundance of male hormones.
I'd heard something along those lines too.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. You know, I mean, if you're listening, Jamie, sue me, okay? Sue me.
I do know she was born November 22nd, 1958.
How do you know that?
I just remember, for some reason, because I thought that was always weird. On her 5th birthday, Kennedy got shot. So I always remembered that.
So you always remembered that.
Yeah.
Wow. Your memory is amazing.
For dates, yes.
For what? For dates?
For dates, yeah.
But you
Jamie
don't...
Lee Curtis, the daughter of Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh, I believe.
Janet Leigh. That's right.
From the shower scene.
Yeah, in Psycho. Yep. Let me. What other showbiz rumors were there?
Well, the one we talked about this before, the Fatty Arbuckle thing, which is probably totally false, right?
Well, people maybe don't remember the Fatty Arbuckle situation. It happened long before I was born, or Bubbles was born, or.
But in your city.
But in San Francisco.
Yes.
And there was only one star that was almost bigger than Charlie Chaplin, or as big as Charlie Chaplin in his time, and that was Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle. And
he was that big?
He was that big. He was
Wow.
huge. I mean, he was also fat, so he was huge. But he was huge, and he had a party that he was going to have in San Francisco at the St. Francis Hotel. And at this party, a woman by the name of Virginia Rapé. Now, you see, I can't remember shit, right? But this...
You can't remember your doctor's name, but this old actor.
Yeah, Virginia Rapé, I remember, okay? And Virginia Rapé died at that party. And they say... So what happened was they charged Fatty Arbuckle with murder. Now, there are a few facts you should know before we go on. When she died, Fatty Arbuckle wasn't even at the party. He was still coming from Los Angeles. All right? But what they said was she died of an internal hemorrhage. Might have been a vaginal hemorrhage or something, but an internal hemorrhage. And that it was because of him raping her or whatever, and that he was responsible for her death. So they hold this trial. And during the trial, the Hearst newspapers asked a doctor, how could such a thing happen? He said, well, it could come from something like the insertion of a Coca-Cola bottle. Thus came the big rumor that Fatty Arbuckle killed this woman by shoving a Coca-Cola bottle in her snatch. All right? All of this, of course, completely unbased. Actually, what happened to her is she was so drunk that they put her in a tub of ice to sober her up, and that caused the hemorrhage. All right? But he wasn't even there. It took 3 trials before he was found not guilty. There were 2 hung juries, and a third found him not guilty, at which point the judge said, a great injustice has been done to this man.
So totally exonerated.
Totally exonerated. And yet, to his death,
ruined.
And after his death, I mean, I heard about the rumor when I was a kid. Fatty Arbuckle killed this woman by sticking a Coca-Cola bottle in her vagina. That was the big rumor. He never was even there.
I didn't know that part, that he wasn't there. So what prosecutor decided to go after him?
Just somebody who wanted to make a name for himself. Because Fatty Arbuckle was this big star, and he came up to have this wild party at the St. Francis Hotel. And by the way, if you ask them at the St. Francis Hotel, what room was it in, they won't tell you. You know. In fact, they probably don't even know anymore, and I think the room's been split up into several rooms.
I'd love to get the Arbuckle suite.
The Arbuckle suite, yes. Send up some Coca-Cola, would you please? Thank you.
Classic Coke.
Yeah. But there's an example of the press ruining a man's career unwarranted. Unwarranted. The man was not guilty of anything, you know. And yet he had to defend himself against this. So after that, the studio dropped him. His studio dropped him actually while the trials were going on. And so he went back into movies, and he did have a career. He had a career as a director. You ready for the name he used as a director?
I do know the name.
You do know the name. Tell him.
Yeah. Will Be Good.
Yeah. Will Be Good was his directing name, and he directed. I'm trying to remember. He directed some very famous people. I mean, he was very well liked and loved. People liked him, but he couldn't go back into movies again because, quite frankly, he wasn't box office any longer because of this whole thing. Which, by the way, the rumors of Coke bottles and things like that were all set up by the Hearst people in their newspapers. And it was pretty terrible. Pretty terrible what happened to this guy. And then he died at like 36. He died at a very young age.
Wow.
But some people say he died of a broken heart, and I think that's a bit of an extension. I think he died of being too fucking fat. That's what I think he died of. But if you ever want... by the way, if you ever want to watch a Fatty Arbuckle film, good luck. I mean, there are some Fatty Arbuckle films that remain, but most of them were burned. You know how they were burned? They were on nitrate negatives, and nitrate was very explosive. If you set it on fire, it would just burst into flames and just explode. So when they wanted to do a car blowing up in a movie, they say, go get some of Arbuckle's films.
Really?
Yeah. And they literally... 90% of his output completely destroyed. This is what I've led to believe. Now, my friend Shecky might disagree with me, but I've read that almost 90% of his output was destroyed.
I don't think I've seen any films of his, no.
A lot of it with Buster Keaton. Oh, if you've never seen there are Arbuckles around. If you've never seen an Arbuckle comedy, especially the ones he did with his protege, who was Buster Keaton, you should watch them. They're very funny. They're very good. By the way, I watched a silent film the other night, all the way through, and discovered and literally fell in love with the actress who was in the silent film. And her name was Marion Davies. Now, the name should ring a bell. You know who Marion Davies was, right?
That's Hearst's girlfriend.
Hearst's girlfriend. She did these movies, this movie called Show People, and I watched her in it, and she was one of the best screen comedians I've ever
really?
seen. Just
wow. I didn't
amazing.
know she was talented.
It was just amazing how funny she was and how lovable she was, and she never really did films, many comedy films. She did some, but not many, because Hearst didn't want her to. Hearst was banking her. Hearst Cosmopolitan Pictures released most of her films. In fact, they released all of her films, and he didn't like her doing comedy. He felt she should be doing drama and so on. And she was one of the best. If you watch Show People, you'll see just a great screen comedian. And I also, as I watched her, kind of fell in love with her. I mean, I could see why William Randolph Hearst was besmitten by this woman. Now you want the real story, a really interesting story?
Yeah.
There's a woman by the name of Patricia Lake. She got the last name Lake from, what's his name? Arthur Lake, who was her husband. Arthur Lake was Dagwood in the Dagwood and Blondie movies.
Yeah.
And after Penny Singleton, who played Blondie in those films, see how I'm remembering these names? She replaced her in those films, Patricia Lake, as Blondie. She was, her real name was, where is it? Patricia Van Cleve. Okay. Now, who is this woman? You never heard of her, right? She never admitted it till her deathbed, and then she told her children. She was the daughter of William Randolph Hearst and Marion Davies.
Wow.
She had been, Marion Davies had the kid in Europe. The kid was raised by Marion Davies' sister, I believe it was, or niece, either one, I can't remember. And they raised her, and Hearst and Davies kept supplying her with endless amounts of money for her education and everything. But it was never admitted that she was their daughter until the death of Patricia Lake, who said on her deathbed, "Yes, I'm the daughter of William Randolph Hearst and Marion
Wow,
Davies."
I never knew that.
Yeah. I didn't know that till I came upon this the other night. And it's supposedly not rumor. It's supposedly pretty true. Not the most attractive woman in the world. Certainly not as attractive as Marion Davies, who had just a wonderful. I mean, I fell in love with her. I just fell in love with her watching show people, and then this whole story popped up about their daughter, and I never knew that William Randolph Hearst and Marion Davies had any progeny. And they used to have her come and stay at San Simeon and so on as their aunt and as her aunt, okay? And she would come and stay with them, and she would travel with them on vacations and things like that. But and I guess she knew at the time that she was their daughter, but was asked not to reveal it. So they took care of her, so she was never a want for anything. And when I think when Marion Davies died, she inherited a lot of her money. So anyway, that's that story.
That's a great story.
And
Marion Davies, I think, was actually not a gold digger, but she actually really liked Hearst.
She loved him so much. I mean, a gold digger. Gold diggers don't do this. When the Wall Street crash came, okay. He went broke, lost all his money, was bankrupt. She lent him $1 million and got him out of the hole.
Really?
Yeah, she gave him $1 million.
He lost it. He lost it all. That's hard to believe.
You know what she owned? She was very good at making investments, and she made investments in real estate. She didn't make them in the stock market, which is where Hearst was invested. She made it in real estate, and one of the things she owned was Columbus Circle in New York City.
She owned that? Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So she had the $1 million to give him, and she gave it to him and saved the entire Hearst Corporation. So that is not a gold digger, folks.
That's love.
That's a guy. She truly loved him. She really adored the man, and adored him to his death. I mean, this was not something that was, okay, old man, you're getting sick now. I'll see you later. No, she was with him till his death. And I understand it. I have a friend who was married to my friend Jack Garfine, who was 89 when he died a few weeks ago. And she's 42. And I never saw anybody. I hope Marjorie adores me as much as this woman adored Jack.
Really?
Yeah. And she wasn't there for the money. There was no money. There was no money left, She loved the man. And so I understand through watching her what Marion Davies felt for William Randolph Hearst. Of course, there is the story. Again, this is rumor. They made a movie a few years ago about it called Cat's Meow, directed by Peter Bogdanovich. Hearst invited a bunch of people to go on a weekend cruise on his boat. So they all got on his boat, and while on the boat, Thomas Ince, who was a famous movie producer, died of unexpected causes. They rushed him to shore. They said he had something or another, and then he died, and they immediately cremated the body. Story has it he was killed by Hearst.
I've heard that story, yeah.
Yeah. Who mistook him for the person he really wanted to shoot, Charlie Chaplin. because he suspected Chaplin was having an affair with Marion. Now, Chaplin may have well been having an affair with Marion.
He was quite a womanizer.
Quite a womanizer. And, maybe, Hearst wasn't servicing her enough, and she needed to get it somewhere. And, that might have been it. But he suspected that something was going on between Charlie Chaplin and her. And in the middle of the night, he saw her with this individual, which he thought was Charlie Chaplin, and he had a gun and shot him dead. And then they covered it up. Luella Parsons was on the boat and made her career with Hearst by not revealing what went on, in fact, by reporting exactly the opposite. The guy did have either a stomach problem or a heart attack or whatever. And that's how Luella Parsons got her career as a gossip columnist. So there you go. There's some rumors for you. Those are big Hollywood rumors.
So Hearst had enough money to cover this up when they got back to shore.
Oh, yeah. And, he owned most of the newspapers in the country, so the way it was reported was that this guy, unfortunately, died of a heart attack or something while on Hearst's boat. Yeah, he died of lead poisoning is what happened.
Lead poisoning.
But, the perfect example of Hearst was so big he could get away with murder. And he did. So,
as rich people often do.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it's a great story. That and the story about their daughter, which I did not know till I read it the other night. It was a rumor, but supposedly she told her children on her deathbed that she was, in fact, the daughter of William Randolph Hearst and Marion Davies. But if you ever get a chance, you want to see Show People. It's a silent film, and it is just the best. They showed it the other night on Turner Classic Movies.
I love silent movies.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you probably don't have an app for that. So
I don't.
No, you don't have anything. Do you have any apps at all?
No.
Nothing. Zero zilcho.
Practically off the grid.
off the grid. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen, off the grid.
Hey, this would be interesting to know. Do you think Hearst ever saw Citizen Kane?
Yes, I think he did. Yes. It pissed him off. I'll tell you why it pissed him off. It didn't piss him off about how he was supposedly portrayed, but how Marion was portrayed.
Okay. That makes sense.
As being talentless and, a gold digger and stupid. And the part was played by Dorothy Kamengor, or was that the name of the character? I can't remember. Anyway, here's what's interesting about that. Years later, Orson Welles said Citizen Kane was not based on William Randolph Hearst. It was only based partially on Hearst, that it was also the amalgam of several other wealthy people. And in the case of a girlfriend who was an opera singer and a terrible opera singer, this guy actually was in Chicago, built an opera house for the woman so she could get gigs singing terribly. Okay? So he said that part was based on somebody else entirely. And he said, so far as Marion Davies is concerned, I consider her one of the funniest, most talented people to ever be in films, and I would never do that to her. So he denied implicitly that film was not about. Some of it was based on William Randolph Hearst, obviously, but not every aspect of it. And the part about Marion being that woman in the picture, she absolutely was not meant to be that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's according to Wells, and this was years later, so he had no reason to deny it, because the damage had been done to Citizen Kane, where it didn't get much play in theaters because of the fact that the Hearst papers refused to take any advertising for it. So years later, he said this, and he said no. He said I always admired her as an actress, and it's like they said in Liberty Valance. If it's the difference between truth and the legend, print the legend. It's the last line in Liberty Valance. Hey, we've run out of time, Bubs.
Well, thank you once again. Your film knowledge is unbelievable.
And that's no rumor.
That's no rumor.
Ladies and gentlemen, he'll be back with us. His name is Larry Bubbles Brown. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Alex.
5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Yes, and there was Larry Bubbles Brown. We love Larry. Let me turn on the Skype. I just made it active so everybody can see out there. If they're waiting for my light to light up, that it's active. It's now active. Let me get all my levels correct here and so on. Yeah. Gotta get the levels correct. All right. So I'm just waiting for people to call, I guess. So anyway. Oh, listen, I just turned on my echo. I thought I would do that just to have fun. Okay, now I'm going to turn that off. Okay, let me see here. Let me see who's calling. Oh, Phil Meyer is calling. So he'll be the first one up, and he had a space last night. So we'll just show him this way. Hello there, Phil. How are you?
Hey, good thing.
Yeah.
I was waiting to get your levels.
What'd you say?
I was waiting for you to get your levels right. Am I slapping that?
No, you're cutting off in and out a little bit on your audio. I don't know why. And here comes Charlie Wallace, and I believe he had a spot last night here, I guess. Didn't he on the first three? Maybe not. Well, let me see here. Let's put... wait a minute. Is Charlie even there? Oh, no, Charlie's not there. Oh, there he is. Okay. And he pops into view. Yes. He should be any second.
There you go. Hi, guys.
There we go. Okay. There he is. See? There he is. Turn it. Yeah, turn your audio. Somebody's got their audio up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. So, anyway, how you doing tonight, Charlie?
I'm doing great. A little warm.
What? Who won?
It's a little warmer today.
Oh, it's a little warmer.
Like 42 yesterday.
Oh, wow. Wow. And how are you tonight, Phil?
Hey, I'm feeling good. Looking forward to whatever conversation it's going to go on tonight.
Yeah, who knows where it's going to go? Nothing much happened today, You
don't think so?
Why? What do you think? What happened today? I don't know. I've just been in such a mood that I haven't been watching the news and stuff like that. I think I watched it for like a half hour and I didn't notice anything amazing happening. Bill
Barr told Trump in one way or another that his tweets are making it
him. I read that.
For him to do his job.
Yeah, impossible for him to do his job. What job is that exactly?
Well, he's a hitman for the mob.
Be Trump's lawyer? What is the?
Was it it wasn't Lindsey Graham. It was who's the guy that looks like a turtle? Who's the head of
McConnell.
the McConnell.
Yeah.
McConnell said basically the same thing when asked. He says, "I think it would be a good idea to listen to Bill Barr."
In case you're wondering where you've seen McConnell before, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say that if you ever saw those ads that said, "If you can draw me, you can get a scholarship," that was the turtle that you had to draw. So if you just draw a picture of McConnell, you would have gotten yourself a free scholarship to art school.
But how could you do that? They were always on the back of a pack of matches.
No, they were. Yeah. They were in comic books.
Oh, I didn't read comic books.
Something I got to tell you. The audience doesn't know what the fuck we're talking. Excuse me. Well, there goes our.
There goes tonight.
Just bleep it. You only got one.
No, I'm not going to bleep it. You know what happens is I then request a review, and then they review it, and then they say it's okay. But then it's a day later than after I ran the show or anybody wants to listen to it, so it doesn't do me any good.
Yeah.
So far, can I tell you, I checked to see I have actually made money.
Yeah. There's
Oh, good.
Congratulations to me. I've made. Let's see, how much was it? They tell you how much you've made so far, and it was $1.27.
not bad.
Yeah.
I actually watched the full Candy Crush commercial so that you would get the majority of the money.
Oh, was there a Candy Crush commercial?
Yeah, right at the beginning. So
Okay, well, so can I say to anybody that is listening, because I'm not too fond of YouTube lately, because every day I have to request a review. Don't buy Candy Crush.
Well, I don't think it's something you buy. I have no idea.
It's a game. It's a game.
Huh?
It's a game.
It's a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a game. Yeah.
Even I know that.
Well, I let the commercial run because I believe that if the commercial runs all the way to the end, you get more money
I don't think
than
so.
hit skip.
I don't think so.
No?
Nah. No, I don't think so.
You mean I've been watching it all the way to the end for nothing?
I don't. You see, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But I mean,
I didn't watch it all the way to the end. I just let it run to the end.
I made $1.27. You know.
That's because of Charlie and me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty good. $1.27. Well, actually, if I go to one version of YouTube, they have two things: YouTube Studio and then Classic, and then YouTube Studio, the new one. If I go to the new one, I have $1.27. If I go to the old one, I only have 80 cents. They really don't have their. Shall I say it? They don't have their.
Don't say it.
They don't have
Stuff.
their
Stuff.
shiitake mushrooms together.
That's better.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to practice not cursing, because if you ever do get another radio job, which I think you should and will, especially when you're ready for it, you don't want to be in the habit of cursing.
Well, to begin with, when I did, for instance, Walter Sabo's show or Walter Sterling's show on
I called in that.
the network. I went that whole time and I didn't curse. I mean, I automatically, when I'm in a radio studio and it's a broadcast organization, like I walk into CBS, I immediately know something clicks in my brain and I turn it all off.
Well, what happens if you end up doing a show from your apartment? Like let's say.
Well, that's a problem.
That's why.
That's a problem. Yeah.
And that may be the way of the future, is you get hired by some station and you just do your show from
to
your
begin
apartment.
with, Phil, forget it. You know what's really funny about this whole trial that we're in? What they keep saying to us is, well, you could afford an apartment for $4,200 a month. Yeah, folks, that was 6 years ago, okay? If I were around today and I was still being asked to pay $4,200 rent, I think we would have been out of here a long time ago. Because I was out of work and we couldn't afford that kind of rent. But at that time, we could. So don't tell me, oh, well, you can afford a rent of $4,200. No, I can't. I'm sorry.
So to have a rent of $4,200 and for it to be 50% of your net income, which is not an easy thing to do, you got to make 10. Wait a minute. You got to make over 10,000 a month. So 120 a year, and you're living hand to mouth.
Yeah.
On 10,000
Now, if
a
they
month.
suddenly want to give us this place for what is the rent stabilized price, which could be somewhere like around $2,000, yeah, that we can cut that.
Yeah.
We can cut that if we have any money left after the lawyers take it all.
Well, you'd have $2,000 a month. You'd have to pay anywhere, and you wouldn't be getting much more than a one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, right. So but anyway, I don't know. I give up on it all. But so we'll go ahead with it and finish it off. I talked to my lawyer today. He said, well, it'll be over, when at the end of March. He says, I don't think it's going to go beyond that.
Yeah.
And we're trying to come to some kind of deal on how I'm going to pay him. And, but he even brought up, he said, well, you could afford $4,200 a month. I said, I can't do that anymore. He says, well, how much were you making? And I told him, and I said, how much are you making now? And I said, my Social Security, and a pension from after him. And he said, oh. And I think then all of a sudden I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe he's thinking to himself, I better drop these guys. They don't have money anymore.
You're probably right. The guy's a nice guy and has a good heart, and he's doing the right thing.
Who? Who?
Your attorney.
Well, I don't think he's a bad guy. He's just a very expensive guy. That's all.
They all are. They all are. When I got.
If I finally, let's say I get the money I would hope to get out of this, okay, because of all the grief that's been handed me. I still will not make enough money to pay back the money I put into it. I mean, that's what's so ridiculous about this whole thing.
But if you're able to keep the apartment and keep it at a reasonable rate,
we'll see. The way I look at it, what the hell,
Well, you sound more optimistic today than you did yesterday.
Well, I told Marjorie, I said, I'll spend every penny I've got in my 401ks, in my Vanguard account and everything to keep this thing going. I said, but then when we run out of money, we're going to sell your apartment, because
you may have to move into it.
Well, no, it's too small.
Oh.
What we could, well, anyway. I love her for what she's done so far, and she says, "I'm glad that you're pitching in." She says, "with your money," and I said, "Yeah, I haven't complained about it." And she said, "No, you haven't." She said, "Because now you have some skin in the game." I said, "Like I didn't before."
Yeah. Marjorie's a wonderful woman.
I love her dearly. I don't think I tell her that much, but I love her. I love her dearly. But the problem she has with being married to me is she doesn't exactly think we're married.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you never had any skin in the game. What do you mean? You don't think that because I'm suffering through this thing with you, I don't have skin in the game? The fact that I didn't put any money, I mean, she borrowed all the money and has paid a lot of it back from her home loan, her whatever they call it, and I appreciate that. But I have skin in the game because this thing has been eating away at me just like it's been eating away at her, And I just want to see it finished, so that maybe she can retire, and we can do something nice with our lives. What little precious few breaths we have left,
Well, what are you doing for tomorrow? You know what day it is.
Oh, tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Faye said to me, I'll take you out to dinner tomorrow. Where do you want to go? Well, I called Ruth Chris, and they were fully booked.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I didn't make any
plans. Here's the deal. I finally convinced Marjorie of this.
Yeah.
She always goes, well, thanks. Valentine's Day is coming. Where shall we go? Oh, let's go to the Gotham Bar and Grill. So we go to the Gotham Bar and Grill. It's a pre-fee, okay?
Price fixed.
Yeah. Pre-fee. And then it's $300 for the two of us. And any other night it comes to $150, $175, but no, $300 because it's Valentine's Day. And you go, this is a fucking ripoff. Why don't I just take you out and tell you I love you on the 15th? It's cheaper.
Better deal.
Then I can probably, if you want to, I'll spend the same amount of money and take you to an even better restaurant.
Get roses on the 15th too. They're cheaper.
What?
If you buy the roses on the 15th instead of the 14th, it's a better deal.
Yeah, but they're dead.
Well,
One day. Come on.
yeah. If they don't last, one day.
Did I ever tell you about the advertiser I turned down at Sirius?
Oh, yeah. You flower one.
Yeah, what was a Flowers Are Us or something? I don't know what it was. But they to prove
Flowers.
So I could see how good those flowers are and how wonderful they are. They sent everybody on the staff at Sirius who was doing live reads for them a bouquet of flowers, of roses. And I take them home and I say, Marjorie, look what I got, and this is for you because, this is one of our advertisers, and happy Valentine's Day before Valentine's Day. And she goes, oh, wonderful! I'll put these in water. She puts them in water. They're all dead. Every last one of them. They're wilted, and they've got, how the edges get kind of brown.
Yeah.
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 And I went to my boss and I said, I can't do an ad for these people. Their flowers came dead. They were dead on arrival. And they were always kind of mad at me about that. But I just couldn't do the ads for them. What do I say? Buy these flowers, they'll come dead. I'm not, and I got to tell these people, what was it? What was the name of that company? I wish I could remember so you can remember not to buy flowers from them. But they're the ones that advertise everywhere like crazy.
Is it like FTD or something?
No, it wasn't FTD. FTD, I've done FTD and they were pretty good. They've been good, since I was a kid, But these people just, if you're going to send flowers out to people.
Saw somebody posted 1-800-FLOWERS.
1-800-FLOWERS, that was it.
Yeah, Charlene.
I've used them.
Huh?
They did pretty good.
Pretty good isn't enough. You want them really good. I mean, but if you're going to send them out to the people who are going to be doing the ads for you, at least make sure they're still alive. I think they said, well, we got to send some to the radio station. We got any flowers dying around here that we can send and we can't use for anything else?
For a restaurant. For free.
You know what I was thinking for a restaurant? And I haven't been there in 30 years. The Cliff House. Since I can't get a reservation anywhere because I didn't do anything, I didn't think about it. I haven't been to the Cliff House in years.
I bet you can't get a reservation there.
You don't think so?
No, I bet you can't.
Okay,
Yeah,
call them up right now here on the show and see if you can make a reservation. It would be
Yelp. You can usually make reservations through Yelp, and they'll give you the open times. Cliff House.
Yeah. Okay. Go to Cliff House.
Yeah.
Open
Cliff
times, 8:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
See what we get here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, good steak for breakfast. Hey.
Anybody else going to call tonight? I guess not. I don't care.
Just get the usual suffix. Chez Panisse. Nah, I probably can't.
Chez Panisse. That's in New York.
No, Chez Panisse is in Berkeley. It's Alice Waters.
Oh, Chez Panisse, yeah. Alice Waters. I've been there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Trader Vic's. Now,
no, wait a minute. Now, I don't. First, we got to find out if you can get a table.
Find it on the.
You can probably get a table at Trader Vic's because nobody goes there anymore.
In the last 30 years.
Unless you want a rum toddy or something or whatever that thing is.
What Trader Vic's at the poo-poo platter?
My father used to go to Trader Vic's and come back with the rum butter. Remember the rum butter? And you put it in hot water, right?
Yeah.
And and I used to just scoop it out with my finger and
Okay.
I mean, it was just rum flavor. It wasn't rum drunk stuff.
Oh no, not real rum. Oh.
No.
Terrace room. All right. So let's see. Did they make a reservation? Not yet. Let me see. I'll just call them. All right. Call. All right. Speaker.
Yeah, just call them and see if you can make a reservation for tomorrow night. This is going to be.
Please press 1.
Okay.
General information about hours of operation.
Okay. I pressed 1 to make a reservation. and we'll see what they do. Come on. Can you hear this?
Thank you for calling Cliff Office. This is Barry. How can I help you?
Hey, Barry. I'd like to make reservations for tomorrow night. Any chance?
Man, I wish it were.
Yeah.
We are booked solid.
All right. Well, maybe next time. I'll be a little more proactive, huh?
All right.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Thanks.
Now I got an idea. Why don't you try calling Trader Vic's? Call Trader Vic's.
There. Okay, let me try Trader
I bet
Vic's.
Trader Vic's will say, "What time can you get here?"
Yeah.
You know?
Trader Joe's, Trader Vic's.
Yeah,
V-I-C-E
Trader Vic's.
apostrophe S. Trader Vic's in Emeryville. All right. And, they do have a good steak,
What, a Trader
let's see.
Vic's?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're still open. Yeah.
I used to go with a bunch of guys years ago.
Here
We
we
used to
go.
go every
Here we
Friday
go.
for
This is
lunch.
Phil trying to find a place to have dinner tomorrow night.
All right. This is going to be Trader Vic's. All right.
Thank you for calling Trader Vic's. This is Angie. How may I help you?
Hey, Angie. I'd like to see you any reservations or available seating for tomorrow?
I don't have any seating available until Sunday night.
Oh, what about standing room? Can I stand?
You can come sit in the lounge. Stand in the lounge.
All right.
You want to do that? Yes, we have room for that.
Yes, you have standing. Okay, thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I don't think. Call McDonald's. Call
Glad
McDonald's.
even McDonald's is booked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they probably have a. What?
I'll find a place. There's always those.
No, you're not going to find a place. What? We just went to the lowest rent you could go, Trader Vic's, for crying out loud.
Trader Vic's.
Is there still a Tad's Steakhouse in San Francisco?
There's one in San Francisco.
Call Tad's Steakhouse.
I don't want to eat at Tad's.
No, but try it anyway.
I actually installed the carpet in the Hotel Union Square, which Tad's is in.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to eat there all the time when we were doing the job.
Do you know how old Tad's is?
Tad's. Yeah, it's old.
When I was
Sears Fine Food.
When I was like 8, 9 years old, I'd meet my father for lunch at the Musicians Union. He'd be there, and I'd pick him up. He'd be in the bar downstairs, and he would take me upstairs and next door, and it was to Tad's Steakhouse.
Now, Tad's is on Ellis and
how much? How much do you think a steak was at that time?
$6.
No, and this was God, this got to be like about 1950.
Oh, $1.25.
I think I may be wrong in thinking this, but it was something like 25, 30 cents.
Well, it's not that much more now.
No, and the steak isn't much better. Actually, the steak was very good at that time.
Yeah.
For the cheap price. Now they even had a Tad's here in Times Square. I don't know if it's still open. It may still be.
Did you ever go to the Sears Fine Food on Union Square?
Sears Fine Food. Do they sell tires there too?
Yeah, it was like breakfast and stuff.
Yeah. Here's Tony.
You guys
Let
are
me
making me
go
hungry.
get Tony into the mix here. Here we go. Hello, Tony. How are you this evening?
Pretty good. I enjoyed the show last night. I was listening to it.
You were listening to the last night's show. You heard me being depressed, and you thought you were enjoying the show.
I like when you told Phil, when did you pass the bar exam?
Yeah.
I had all my partners on the call.
Yeah.
Epidus Brazilian Steakhouse. Now that's in San Francisco in Hayes Valley. I like that one. It says reserve now. I can reserve through the app today.
Okay.
Available. Well, let's see what they say about tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 14th. Oh, they have available 4:30.
You know what I think you probably should give Faye for Valentine's Day?
A night away from me?
No. Head.
Yeah. That would mean I wasn't lazy. 4:30 or 10 p.m.
4:30 is like the early bird special.
4:30 or 10 p.m. So there is something available.
Well, this is the Brazilian Steakhouse on Market. And it's a pretty good one. Let me see. There might be a better one in, or not a better one. This one's really good, but there might be one in Concord, I think, that just opened up.
Where is Bree today in Kuala Lumpur? It looks like he's at, is that the airport?
No, you were. I almost went to the airport, but you were talking about reservations. It is February 14th here. It is Valentine's Day now.
Already, yeah.
And this is one of the hot places to go. It's a hot pot place, and so a lot of people.
It looks to me like you got a lot of lesbians there because it's all women taking their dates out for Valentine's Day.
And you can. No, it's during the day. It's lunchtime, Alex. It's not dinner.
Oh, I see.
This is where people wait before they can be served because it's very.
Well, show me the sign of that place. Go back. There was a sign for the place. I'll bet what that. I bet what that that writing says is Haidijo Hot Pot. I bet that's what it says.
Yeah. That's what it says.
Yeah, could be.
So you lined up for the hot pot?
The sit-down place is over here. This is a Michelin-rated Din Tai Fung.
Din Tai Fung.
Probably have this. It must be in New York. They must have that in New York, Alex.
Din Tai Fung? I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh, they must.
Wait a minute. Okay.
It's a Michelin. It's the best Chinese.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Din Tai Fung. Okay. Is that what you're saying? I'll look up Din.
Yeah.
What is it? Din Tai Fung.
Tai Fung.
Din Tai Fung. Well, it comes right up in New York. Yep.
We got one?
It's a Taiwanese restaurant, world-renowned Chinese restaurant that specializes in soup dumplings. I love the soup dumplings.
Oh, I think
and noodles. Yeah.
You gotta go. You gotta try it.
To Din Tai Fung.
Yeah.
Okay.
I recommend it.
Gee, I wonder how I can.
I've been to them in every city that they're in: Dubai, Taiwan, Taipei, Taiwan, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Bennett, all.
Yeah, Din Tai Fung, and here they are making their. Well, I don't know if you can see that.
We can see.
This is a duck restaurant.
Yeah, they're making those are the soup dumplings, I think. Yeah. Yep. There's a place that Shecky and I go in a place we like to call Flushing, which makes the soup dumplings, and it's very good.
Oh,
very good.
Huh?
Yeah.
I had egg drop tonight for dinner.
Queen.
Egg drops just wussy.
I liked it. I had my wrist.
Wonton.
Yeah.
War wonton.
Yeah.
You know?
I love Chinese soup.
War wonton's got stuff in it. Good stuff.
No, but soup wonton, soup dumplings are great. They're wonderful. They just melt in your mouth.
On a nice cold winter night, you get some Chinese soup.
Yeah. So, I got. You know what I have to do? I haven't gone over to his. There we go. Now we can see the stuff. I didn't have your the thing up where you were on it there, Bree. So you're gonna have to go back and show us all those places again.
I'm thinking about buying a Galaxy Note 10 Lite.
Hey, look who's coming down the escalator. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He's running again.
You don't have enough computers and phones?
So you missed. So Realme is the new Xiaomi. They have. This is like one of the top phones in this neck of the woods.
Realme is the new quad. Wait a minute, quad camera. What do they mean by quad camera?
Yeah, 4 cameras.
4 cameras? Why 4 cameras?
Well, because I think the iPhone had 3, so now they have to have 4.
Yeah, they have 4.
And
right?
I guess and then there's the 5 Pro. Yeah.
You know, I try to look up Julius Castle, and they don't come up. Are they closed?
I think they closed a long time ago, Phil.
Yeah.
Back when you were a child.
For blowing it up. They're gonna be at McDonald's tomorrow, Alex.
No, Julius Castle was right there on the road, right above where they filmed Dark Passage with Humphrey Bogart. That beautiful Art Deco building that's still there.
Yeah, it was on. Is that Montgomery?
No.
At the end, it was like the Filbert Steps. It was, yeah, it's Filbert and Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
where it
no,
was.
if you walk down the steps on the side of that building, you really get into a whole neighborhood that has no roads going into it. I never could figure out how people get their furniture in there.
I dated a girl that lived on those steps and was called Napier Lane.
Yeah.
And she had an unbelievable view of the Bay Bridge. And in those years, she was paying $150 a month for a studio.
Really? But I don't know how people got furniture there. There are no roads to take trucks in there.
Well, you had to carry it down. And what the situation was, I would park up on the street, and if you had food or something you wanted to carry down, you carried it down. You didn't go out very much.
Well, there is a film, I think it's called The Parrots of Telegraph Hill.
Yeah.
That's about that area right there. For some reason, I don't know how it happened. A bunch of parrots wound up there.
Wow.
And the whole place is infested with parrots.
I never noticed. And
Yeah.
I dated her for almost a year.
What is that? What is that? Is that phone any good? Bree?
Talk to them.
Is it?
Yeah. This is it's the Note 10 Lite.
It's
So
three-
you've heard of the Note 10. I'm using a Note 4 now. And if I buy this today, I can get a special edition Fit, which is worth about $100.
Really?
How much phone? It says it's almost 3,000 Rinkin.
It's a
2,200.
It's a Samsung, right?
2,300. Yeah, it's Samsung.
Okay, so
No.
2,300 is what? How much?
It's a little over $600.
That's right.
$500.
It would be $580.
Isn't this an exciting show tonight, folks? You know?
It must
I
be.
get it?
Look how many you're watching.
Alex?
Yes.
And I get the Fit with it, but I don't really wear a Fit.
Yeah,
You do-
and who needs it when you can go out and get you? Well, I don't have mine on right now. I'm charging my watch, my Apple
gonna
Watch. I love my Apple Watch. It's the best.
Well, I have to decide. I mean, should I pull the trigger?
Why don't
I
you
mean-
use an Apple?
Trick yourself.
Pull the trigger.
No,
I mean,
I'm Samsung.
don't you
I'm
have
used to
enough?
the Note.
Don't
I
you
like
have?
the stylus.
Yeah.
Don't you have enough
Yeah.
phones already?
He buys
Well-
phones from Russia.
I do. I have a lot of phones. You're right. But I don't have
Yeah,
the top of the line.
But I would get an Apple phone right now before the coronavirus hits another plant in China.
They've already
Yeah,
said
right.
delay
All over the place.
their
That
introductory
shit's
Apple phone
I use the
that
iPad.
plus the virus. There's one that they were going to come out with that was a little less money, and they said that one's already shut down, and the it'll be delayed. Its launch will be delayed.
Yeah. Now that is.
Did drop on the phones.
Let's see here. So what? I don't see how much iPhones cost there, but they're probably the same essentially.
He's looking at iPhone Pro 11, and raise it up just a little, Bree. So with the 512, it's 540 a month for 12 months. So 540 is $200. No,
No.
105 or something.
400 is $100, and
Yeah.
140 would be $60.
Okay, so it's $160.
Wait, 140.
The RM, like in China, the money is called an RMB, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's $160 a month for 12 months. Well, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Well, but that's if you're getting it on installment. And
Yeah.
you get 0% interest. So
Yeah, but you're paying a lot more money for the phone.
Where are you exactly? What is this place here?
it's a mall.
It's a mall. And is anybody there? I don't know too many people wearing face masks and things like that. I guess they're not worried about the coronavirus.
I told you, like the woman with the balloons is wearing a face mask.
Oh, okay.
I'd say one out of it. I'd say like 10% of
But she's only wearing a
face.
face mask because she's charging too much for balloons.
Yeah, that might be true. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a place to eat lunch. I can't decide where I want to go today.
Well, now that's Huawei. You
Where
know,
else you a VIP?
that's the company that supposedly.
I'm a VIP at Manhattan Fish Market.
Now Huawei is a very big company in that part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, but I wouldn't go with them because I don't know what they're doing with Google. Like, are they going to have Android stuff or not? You know?
Well, Huawei is the company that the United States is accused of spying on Americans.
Yeah.
Are there any promotions with this? If I buy this, do I get something?
Yeah, you can get
the Canadian.
On the fish. Okay, so you're doing the same.
So, are you actually looking for a phone, Bree?
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, I am, Alex.
Don't you own enough goddamn phones?
My flagship phone, as it were, the one I use every day that I'm using now, is the Galaxy Note 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a little bit behind the times, and I've noticed that my phone is a little sluggish, and so it's time to upgrade soon.
Well, I got this. I got this new one, the one with all the all the eyes on it. Looks like it's out of War of the Worlds. You know, got 3 eyes on it. But now there's one with 4 eyes. Why am I wasting my time with this one?
Hey, when I was a kid, they used to call me that.
4 eyes. Yeah.
4 eyes. 4 eyes are better than 2?
Yeah, 4 eyes are better than 2. Yeah, we got a lot of people watching us tonight. They love this tour of a mall in Kuala Lumpur.
I can get a plump.
It's a movie theater. Do you want to see what's at the movie theater?
Yeah, sure. Let's go see what's at the movie theater.
I like Squid Boy.
Huh?
Boy.
But
Let's go get a squid.
Yeah, here's the question: why is it I see almost nothing but women? Aren't there any guys in
don't knock
Kuala Lumpur?
During the day.
Huh?
It's during the day. They're all working, so the women can go.
There's some more women. I mean, it's a work day, so the ladies are out, the guys are at the.
Yeah.
There's Squid Boy.
What is it?
Squid Boy.
Squid Boy.
Oh, that's fish.
What's it called? Squid Boy?
Yeah.
Yes, octopus.
Oh
It's
boy.
good.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'll still get a signal here. But we can check it
So
out.
far, we're okay. What's playing at the movies? Here we go. We're gonna go look at what's playing at the movies. Secret Zoo.
Oh,
Sounds like a
From the
winner.
producers from the producers of Extreme Job.
oh, that's
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
The Boy 2. Was there a Boy 1? Anybody know about the Boy 1?
I
missed it.
Spy.
What-
That's like I Spy.
What's
but,
this movie? The Gentleman. Well, that's been here. Let me see here. What else is playing?
How many screens they got?
They got a lot of them. Got a lot of them. Look at that.
The kid stuff.
Yeah.
Any karate movies?
Yeah.
Mama.
Yeah. Oh, look, you can actually move that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Let's see here. Joker, of course, in IMAX.
Oh, big screen. It seems so crazy.
Yeah. IMAX.
I
You got
was
Midway.
watching 1917 on
Oh, 19.
my TV.
What is this buy now? Is this a download?
What?
No, you buy.
Just
I'm
wait
at the
till they
ticket
combine
counter.
it.
No,
Oh,
this
you
is
can buy it.
It's
this
called
is
buying a ticket.
this is a big giant screen that's at the theater, and you can go through all the theater movies, and then you can hit buy if you want to go see the picture.
Now, here's the thing. Can
Yeah.
you go into watch the Super Bowl at the movie theater?
Oh, really?
No, you cannot. You cannot, right?
Right.
But here,
Not
you
usually.
Here
Huh.
you
can. Here
can.
you can.
Yeah.
Can you movie hop there? You know, can you go into one theater, watch the film, and then go to another theater in the same
No, that
building?
carries the death penalty.
Sure.
Yeah, they chop your eyes out.
I can start at 10 in the morning and finish at midnight.
I thought I would go see a silent film once. They were playing. What was it? What was the one? The big space, the big futuristic one that was silent film.
Cloud Atlas.
Okay.
No. But anyway, I thought I would go to it because in Paris because it was a silent film, right? And I wouldn't have to worry about the language. Then I forgot all the subtitles were in French. All the So anyway,
So here you go. You can
What?
go see
Yeah.
an Oscar film in IMAX for 10 ringgit. That's $2.50
and you can see
Wow.
all
in
of
in IMAX.
in IMAX.
Yeah.
But you can only see one
how
at a
much
time.
is-
You have
How
to.
much is that going to cost you in the States? Alex, how much is IMAX in New York City?
Oh,
$20.
it's about $800.
And it's not even with,
200.
Matt,
so you
Nick
see-
is like 10.
$2.50.
Telling you.
that's the deal.
And
You saw it right there. $2.50.
and do they have more than one IMAX screen at that theater?
Are the films in
They
English?
sure do. And we've got a bunch of all over. We got gold class, first class.
You know something though? There is a thing called like mini IMAX. It's not the full big IMAX you're used to here in New York, where you go up to this giant screen.
This is big.
Well, these are big
This
too,
place
but they're
is
not
huge.
as big as the other ones. Yes, yes, Phil.
Are the movies in English or are they subtitled?
They're
They
probably
will vary. Depends on which one you're going to. If
Yeah.
it's a Malaysian film, it will be in Malaysian. It will have English and Chinese subtitles.
I see.
If you
But-
go to a Hollywood film, it'll be in English,
Oh,
and it will have. Now, sometimes if it's really big, they will dub it. So
Well, I see
you could go see a major film in a dubbed. Like if you're in Thailand. for
Well, how do
example,
you
could
know,
watch
as an American who doesn't entirely understand the language of whatever language they speak in that country, how do you know that the theater you're going into, the film is actually going to be in English in some way, shape, or form?
I didn't even know that
that
Netflix.
that is
Well, I'm losing you. We're losing you.
where you are, Alex. Right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me go to. I'll go to somewhere where I get a better signal.
Yeah, try the
No,
Apple
Alex,
store.
You don't always know. When I was in Dubai, one time I went to a Tagalog film, Filipino,
Yeah.
and it was all in Tagalog, and I didn't know.
Yeah, I hear that.
So,
every
yeah,
time.
very.
My girlfriend's talking to her sister.
Yeah, they speak to yeah, and they probably are talking about you.
Oh yeah.
Anong oras na?
let's
Anong oras na? Salamat. Halangang mo.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice tour today, at least for the most
This
part.
is my internet company. That's my internet company.
Wow.
You
Just
think
paid that bill.
you need stronger internet?
You know, you think about it's interesting that you think about countries like, I say, Kuala Lumpur, and immediately people will go, "Oh, well, these are people like with bones in their nose running through the jungle," right?
That's
And I'm sorry, this is Kuala Lumpur. It actually is more modern than New York City, don't you think, Tony?
Yeah, it looks nice. It looks nicer than my mall.
Yeah.
It's more modern than
My mall doesn't even have a movie theater.
We don't have a movie theater that looks that good.
Not in the mall either, Al.
We don't have a mall that looks that good.
what's the Chinese holiday they have right now? It's Year of the
Tet?
Rat.
Tet.
The Lantern Festival just ended,
Is
so
that
we're
what-
now back to regular.
Is that
Yeah.
what that display is about?
Yeah, that's those are lanterns for Lantern Festival.
Well, what is the official language of Kuala Lumpur?
Of Malaysia? There are four. Let's see, 3 or 4. 3 official languages, 4 official languages.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
4.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as Singapore.
Yeah, I noticed a couple of
There are
people
4.
walking around with masks on. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a few there. I said, maybe 10, 20%.
Yeah. Now, you
know.
think you had the coronavirus, did you tell us?
I'm not sure. I mean, I did not. I went to the doctors, but she didn't say anything. But I had all the symptoms and everything, and I was in Thailand. I was extensively in Thailand, traveling Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket. I was on 4 different airplanes, numerous trains.
Wait, what town?
buses.
What town did they say you were in Thailand?
Chan.
I was in 3. I was in Bangkok, Pattaya.
What was the
and-
what was the first one?
Banco.
No,
Bangkok.
you. Thank you. That's
Huh?
what. No, you.
Banco.
And
But
yeah,
in Korean, they say Banco.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They don't put the K on the end.
yeah, there's a Phuket in Phuket has got good diving. I heard.
Oh, yeah.
About to find
There's,
it. She jumped
there's great diving in Malaysia.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Still can't decide where to eat.
Yeah.
Life's tough, isn't it?
By the way, Kuala Lumpur isn't a, Kuala Lumpur isn't a copywritten country, is it? Because I don't want to get into trouble with YouTube.
No.
Okay.
No, we can do pretty much anything we want here.
Oh, okay, fine.
Same in Dubai.
Okay, good.
There are, I think someone said, within a 2-kilometer radius of where I'm at,
Yeah.
there are almost 300 restaurants. So I can, and I know that there are probably about 50 bubble tea stores.
I can't even get a reservation in one tonight. You know.
I can get any reservation, and I can go to any one of these.
Well,
I'm sure.
if I call American Express, they always get you guaranteed table.
Okay, I got American Express.
Here's what I'm
Okay,
suggesting, Phil.
TGI Friday.
Yeah.
You know, and we had it last night, and we love it, and it's good. Popeye's chicken. I think that would probably be.
That's probably the only thing I'm going to be able to get.
Well, Popeye's chicken, pretty much. You know, good idea.
We've got a Chick-fil-A near here.
Oh, come on, Chick-fil-A.
No, forget it.
Okay, so here you go.
What, set
You
for
go to
two?
Fridays.
Fridays.
Set for two.
80 Runkin. Oh man, that's expensive.
Yes, that is that is really expensive. That is $45.
Wow.
For dinner for two. Dinner for two on Valentine's Day. That is outrageous.
How
I would
much?
not pay it.
How much?
Especially when you get
$45.
$45?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, jinx. It's like
You know,
Who's she? She looks good. Well, okay. Am I being sexist when I start ogling the women in another country by?
Hey, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
You guys stop that.
Charlie, keep your hands above the table. Okay.
Bear.
Let's keep our hands above the table.
what was that? Build Bear?
No, that's 3 Bears.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I have a thing for Asian women anyway, so.
Really?
Is that
yeah.
racial
I've never
content
been.
there?
I've never been hot for Asian women. You know what I'm hot for? I mean, this is strange. You know what I'm hot for?
Yeah, pudgy brunettes.
Jewish women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Short. It's kind of zoftig, a little zoftig.
Anybody into watches?
You know.
Is that actress that you liked? Was she Jewish? Linda
Blair?
Blair, remember?
No.
Oh.
But and Jewish women are really great in the sack. They really are. Ask any. Well, they are until you marry them. You know, and then something happens. I don't know what it is. I think it was just, it was like the queen bee needs to attract the drones with something, and then once they're there, she kills them.
You want to make sure that a woman stops having sex? Get her pregnant. Once she has a kid, it's all over. You're chopped liver.
I don't know that it's all over, But then again, I've never gone with a woman who was, So, I have no idea. Speaking of which,
while they're pregnant,
we haven't heard from Kathleen in a while. I hope
that's when
okay.
A lot of the celebrity cases where you hear where the guy cheats, or the ones, it's usually when the woman is pregnant.
Yeah.
Or they've just had.
Yeah, just had, or they have a kid.
Yeah.
I became chopped
why
liver.
don't you settle down somewhere and eat so we can get to some discussions here?
Okay.
Rather than
when
ogle.
my wife was pregnant, we made love about 3 or 4 times a day. She was a wild woman.
Yeah, supposedly pregnant women are really horny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
well,
something. I don't know. I'll tell you what I don't understand. By the way, that wasn't a pick, folks. That was a scratch because my nose itches.
What's that thing on your tip of your
Just
finger?
green tea.
Yeah.
To me.
No pick. No pick. What was I going to say about women? You know what? They always say that women always say how wonderful it is to have children. You know, and then when I see women who have children, none of them look particularly happy.
Hey,
They all
I
look
was in,
tired and exhausted, and
Yeah.
wish the little brat would just go away for a while.
I
you
was
know?
in Disneyland,
Okay.
Animal Kingdom in Orlando about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And, because we're associated with Disney, we have a deal with them. And so we went there as a group, and all I saw was screaming kids. And, the parents just, beside themselves. Nobody was having a good time, but the kids, they're I can't believe I'd want to kill them. They're that unruly.
Yeah.
And so what are you doing? They're paying $100.
Well, I don't know. I had a pretty good time at Disneyland because that tram that takes you to It's a Small World. You go in there and it's in the tram. I got a blowjob on that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the monorail.
Yeah, I got a blowjob on that. So Disneyland was pretty good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what they're charging now?
What for the blowjob? I hope it's not what I paid for it.
Different to Disneyland for adults.
He had to build a room service.
I'd say it's $100. What?
Almost $200 for the ticket.
Really?
Yeah.
A day?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
I just order-
You get the full day pass.
Is it a full day or is that 3 days or something like that?
I thought it was the full day. Let me.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Disneyland tickets.
Yeah. Disneyland tickets. How much does it cost to go to Disneyland?
Tickets.
I know it's expensive. My brother's going with my niece and my sister. It's a lot.
Price.
Okay, we're looking at.
And it might have been that Disneyland tickets purchase.
Mhm.
Come on, phone. I'm using an Apple and it's not that fast.
Turn it sideways, Bree.
Okay. They start. What's this?
Turn it sideways the other way, Bree. It's not going landscape.
Okay, hold on. My phone just froze up again. See, this is why I need a new phone, Alex. You should have said buy it. You should have said buy that phone.
Oh, so one magic
Not
morning
now.
No.
is 170.
There we go. That's fine. All right. What? What'd you say, Phil?
It says one magic morning is $117. It's the theme park.
That's just one morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
You need with the characters and breakfast and Chef Mickey show.
Magic
You gotta
Morning. How
put
much
them
is
in.
a happy ending?
Yeah, right. Let's see. Special events theme park. Come on, products and prices for all guests.
Yeah.
So children are $67 a day per child. That one it told me.
Yeah.
I don't see. Oh, show more links. It's not giving me the information. $67 for a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But here. Disneyland is breaking the $200 a day mark. That was a Los Angeles Times story 2 days ago. It says a person can visit Disneyland in California. It just rose from $159 to $200.
Wow.
And from $199 on the highest demand days. So yeah, it's over $200 now for tickets to go to Disneyland per person per day.
Wow.
That is correct.
Per day. Jeez almighty. Usually you could buy 3 days or something like that. I wonder how much 3 days is. I wonder if there's a 3-day pass.
$500.
You think so? Oh.
Yeah.
I'd say
Like Disneyland.
it's only like a little bit more.
More results.
Oh, you might be right because they like to have people stay around because they got to wait in lines.
Well, for instance, if you stay at a hotel, one of their hotels, you may get a break in that price.
It's Disneyland Hotel, and it's the nice thing about the Disneyland Hotel. When my family went there. I took the kids, and this is a while ago. You got to get into the park an hour or two early. So you
if you stay at
Well, the nice
hotel,
thing
yeah.
about the when I stayed there at one of the Disneyland hotels was the blowjob I got from the woman I took there.
I have a picture of it.
A lot of blowjobs in Disneyland. It was like we said to each other, you know something, it'd be really great if you blow me, because if we're on this thing, we don't want to go back and tell people we didn't do this, okay? You know, it's like I understand Bill Clinton, because if I was president of the United States, the first thing I would do in the Oval Office is fuck on the desk. Okay.
At Disneyland, they had different tickets, A tickets, E tickets, and so forth.
Oh yeah, that was the old days.
The old days. And so, what ticket did you have to use for that blowjob?
A me ticket. Anyway, no, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. It really bothers me here. You pay $200 to get into one of the theme parks, or maybe all the theme parks. You get to go into all of them those days. And then you're only going to ride on about 3 rides because you're waiting in lines that are so long. You know, and what did you do at Disneyland? Well, I went Magic Mountain. I waited 2 hours for that, and then I went and I did the railroad thing, and that was another 2 hours. Jungle Cruise. So I did about 3 rides and spent $200.
Yeah, no, that's just one person. And if you take a family
of 4, and then you have lunch.
Yeah, you got to eat too.
It's worth what, $67
for French fries.
You're looking at 500 and change.
Yeah, I didn't think there was anything that was a bigger ripoff than the American court system.
How many
the bed? Oh God, 90 grand.
Mouse ears?
Huh?
That they sold, how many millions of mouse ears they've sold?
More than MAGA hats.
Yeah, well, you buy the mouse ears and you don't wear them anymore. At least the MAGA hats you can wear on the show.
I wonder if they have MAGA hats. They have Mickey Mouse hats with the ears that says "Make America Great," make Disneyland great again.
Make it cheaper again, if anything.
Get Disneyland tickets at Costco.
I think the first time I ever went to Disneyland, this was in Anaheim, and it had just opened a few years earlier, or maybe even that year. You got a book, with all the tickets, and of course
That's right. You had to rip them out, right?
Yeah, but you always came back with a couple of tickets because you didn't want to use the cheaper ones, because that got you into the bathroom is what it did, But I think I only paid something like maybe $7 or something like that for the whole book.
Yeah,
when I went to Disneyland in '82, it was $15 a day.
Wow.
Yeah, I went in the 70s, and I don't think it was much more than that.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what day you go.
I wonder if I could go there and still get a blowjob. Well, anyway,
there's a ride for that.
There's a ride for that. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I'll tell you, Penn Jillette said to me, he said, Alex, the time I went to Disney World, okay, not the time I went there and got blown, but another time when I went there with my girlfriend that was moving to Florida with me, and we were going to stop on about January 15th at Disney World. And Penn Jillette said to me, you cannot get in there. He says, it takes forever to get on a ride. It's ridiculous. Well, we went there on January 15th, walked right in, got on every ride within 10 minutes.
Wheelchair?
It was that time of the year, I guess, or something like that. It was a complete delight because we went on every ride we wanted to.
Now, if you didn't get a blowjob that time, then that ride was...
I was there in 2000.
Well, I took my actual girlfriend with me, so I can't remember if I got a blowjob or not. And, those ones aren't memorable, But, no, we didn't. And I called up Penn and I said, hey, Gillette, you really lied to me. I didn't have a single problem. We walked right in.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember one time I took the kids and my daughter had a sprained ankle and we had a wheelchair. and you got right to the front of the line.
Really?
Oh yeah, they did that.
What I was going to do with a friend of mine, I had this friend who on the show he's getting whatever he's getting. Look at that. How much is all of that going to cost you, Bree? 15 cents?
About $4.
$4.
Is that real or is that plant-based?
That's real.
That's real? That's pretty interesting.
Plant-based.
Anyway, what was I going to say?
Based.
Pendulette lied to you.
Oh yeah, Pendulette lied to me. Yeah. So I mean, that was good. That was a nice time there. But I've tried to get Marjorie to go to Disney World with me, and she won't. She just wants nothing to do with Disney World. She wants nothing to do with Vegas. I said, you got to see Vegas once in your lifetime because it's the silliest city in America. You know, it's just the stupidest piece of crap you've ever been to in your life. And
Alex,
I said,
in the 1990s,
what?
In the 1990s, I was pretty much addicted to Nevada.
Really?
I went all over.
What about Nevada were you addicted to? I mean, I worked in Nevada, and I can get out of there fast enough.
At the time. I read all about it. There's a lot of literature.
Well, you know what happened? I would go to Vegas for these conventions. He's still trying to get reservations. Go to Vegas for these conventions because I was part of like Play Incorporated. We went down there and they had a booth and they were showing their stuff and we were doing our live shows from there and so on. And we would have to spend 5 days there. 2 days max. After the second day, you're ready to climb the goddamn walls, okay? Because it's boring. There's nothing left to do. You don't go there to gamble. That's ridiculous if you're going there to gamble under those conditions. I definitely did. I'm telling you, after 2 days, Vegas is fun for 2 days. And then it's time to go.
No, Vegas is fun for several days if you have several thousand in your pocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what if you leave without a several thousand in your pocket?
Then you're not leaving and it ain't fun.
The old joke was, you know how to win in Vegas, don't you? When you get off the plane, walk into the propeller. Yeah.
I am a big gambler when it comes to Reno and Vegas and Tahoe. I go in, I put a quarter in the slot machine. Mm-hmm. I pull a thing. If I win, I walk out. If I lose, I walk out. One thing. That's it. I
did that once in New Orleans.
Yeah.
At Harrah's. I walked into the roulette table.
I only walked out of Tahoe once ahead of the game, and I was ahead a couple of $1,000 by just playing slot machines.
Wow.
What I did was I won $2,000 on like a quarter slot machine or $1 slot machine. So I figured it was like $2,500. So I said, "Give me $500 in $5 coins." And I went into the $5 machines, and I made another $1,000.
Wow! I never win. No. So I've learned, and I don't like the feeling when you lose. And the most I've ever lost is maybe $500 or $600.
That's why you're not truly a gambler, because a gambler feels just as good when he loses as when he wins.
Yeah. No, I feel like I'm stupid, and I've done. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
For sure.
We have incredibly high numbers tonight, and I think that's because we're not talking anything about politics.
Yeah.
This is like a politics-free zone. No, folks, we're not going to start now. Just stay where you are. We're going to eat noodles, and we're going to talk about gambling.
Such a long time ago that the trend was going to be for a Trump-free zone.
Well, it may be the new format, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I'm sick of hearing it. Huh? What?
Hearing it. I wish that he'd stop tweeting.
Okay, let's not even get into that.
All right.
Jimmy Carter moment.
Jimmy Carter moment. Jimmy Carter, I didn't realize this, oldest living president in the history of the United States.
Of the country. Yep.
Wow.
He broke the record.
Yeah, how old is he now? 92, something like that? 93?
I thought he was older than that. But I'm just kidding.
94, I think.
94?
94 or 96, something like that. Yeah.
Well, let me look it up here. I'll just everything you ever wanted to know about anybody is here on the thing.
I mean, he was president in 1976. To 1980.
That's right, the bicentennial year. I remember that.
Jimmy Carter is 95 years old.
Wow.
95.
Yeah. He is, I think
Remember, he had a health scare.
Yeah.
Several.
Every hour he has a health scare.
Everybody thought that was going to be it. You know?
No, but even if he dies tomorrow, he's going to be the oldest living president in the history of. Look, some Muslims are going by.
Yeah.
And good.
Ali Akbar.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, he's really old. He's really old.
Clean living.
Second oldest is Bernie Sanders. So anyway,
he hasn't won yet. And if Democrats have their way, he won't.
This has nothing to do with politics, but do you think we could really get some younger people running for president? I mean, it looks like an old codger club, except for Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I'm old. I'm 80. I should sit here and say, oh, it's good that there are older people running for office. But I know how I feel at 80. And I don't want you voting for me for president. I'm sorry. I don't think it'd be like Alex. We're going to have a meeting with the Prime Minister of Thailand. What time is that? Noon. I think I'm going to need a nap then.
I can tell just in the last 5 years, there's been a difference in my cognitive ability. I search for words. I can't remember stuff.
Yeah. I can't remember where my dick is. I mean, it's and neither can it.
I lose weight, I'll be able to see it.
Yeah. Well, with all that they're doing with me, it's like I feel the world is out to get my my sexuality. They're punching holes in it with biopsies. They're then radiating it with beams.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still okay. I'm still all right on a lot of levels, but next comes the big one, the seeds. And the seeds are going to cause a bit of a problem. I'm going to have a harder time peeing and things like that for a couple of days at least. And then, but it's just like everybody's trying to get my prostate. They're turning it into a goddamn pincushion.
Can you continue the Cialis during this process?
I think so. Yeah. In fact, in order that I think so, I don't have to have a catheter in me. I think they give me like Flomax and things like that, and that softens it up and so forth. But
Flomax doesn't do much for your sex life either.
No, but I mean, I've kind of, what I've done. I mean, I'm 80. I had a lot of good years with that. Okay, so if I'm at this point in my life, I don't have good years sexually. I had them. I have a lot of great memories. Look, they have masks on. See, so I don't resent it. Who resents it is Marjorie.
Yeah.
But by the way, wasn't that a great speech the other night Olivia Colman gave? She said, "I want to thank you last year for giving me the Oscar because that was the greatest night of my husband's life."
That girl with the backpack has nice legs. Is she old enough?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
Listen, here we are. We're being utterly sexist. This would be the Me Too movement right now. If they listen to this show, would probably be boycotting it, which would give me 5 more listeners than I've got right now. So, You know, if we can get 3 more people, we'll hit 40 tonight.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like a schoolgirl or something, but yeah, she has a baby carriage with a child.
Yeah, yeah. But
I'm telling you, Alex, if I made this into 10 minutes with a little bit of rolling commentary, I'd have 10,000 hits. Guarantee you.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, I know so.
Well, one time I actually put it was raining, and then it snowed, and then it stopped snowing, and I took a shot out my window in my office in the guest room, and which is Studio B we call it, the guest room, and I actually ran a video constantly for a couple of hours of snow melting. And I got like 1,000 views.
Well, in the early days of radio, they stuck the mics out. Ladies and gentlemen, the sounds of New York City.
Yeah.
Hey, with 1,030 subscribers, just think of how many views you'd get if you melted snow today. But I can't because of climate change. There's no snow.
I would probably stick the camera out the window, show the snow melting, or maybe we would even do paint dry. That could be another thing we could do. Really slow video, okay? Paint drying, snow melting, whatever. And YouTube would then say, I'm sorry, but this is not proper for all advertisers.
Jimmy Carter moment.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, so...
Yeah.
You know, we only got another couple of minutes here, and this will have really been a Trump-free evening. Yeah. And one of the more pleasant shows I've done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I talked to my lawyer,
Alex,
I talked to my lawyer today. And the last thing you want to ever do is talk to your lawyer. Number one, because it's costing you money. Okay. But worse than that, they never are. What can we call it? They never give you hope because they never want to say anything that will get them sued.
Yeah.
So when you say, well, what do you think our chances are of winning this thing? He'll go, well, I think they're good, but I can't give you a percentage because no lawyer should.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So I'm not getting, I'm
learning this now.
What?
Just learning this now. I mean, when I was 22, I had to hire a lawyer.
Yeah.
And I told him, here's the budget for the week. I said, if you go above that, call me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He called you the next day?
Let me see. Are you there, Ray?
I'm here.
Well, show us a picture, Ray.
Yeah,
good.
sorry, I
Okay.
got it on. There we go.
Okay. Let me see here.
Sorry to call so late, but I missed you guys so much.
You are Ray Pa.
I don't know. I don't know what account it is.
You don't know what you are anymore.
I don't know anything
There's
anymore.
Ray. Ray is in his home in, where are you again? Burlingame?
Palo Alto.
Palo Alto.
Yeah.
And we have Bree, of course. He's in Kuala Lumpur having lunch. That's why, I was going to say that can't be the United States because there are nothing but Asian people there.
Look at those girls. They're gorgeous.
I know.
I'll tell you. I have to say
Yeah.
this. I have to say this, and that those are some pretty hot women for the most part.
Damn.
To begin with,
Absolutely.
am I right about this?
This one with the
Ray-
baby carriage,
This is
I like the legs.
I'm gonna stay healthy and happy.
Bree, am I correct about this, or am I wrong about this? But I have yet to see a fat Kuala Lumpur woman.
There was
There's so
You
many
won't see it.
restaurants.
You just won't see it.
Are they usually that non-fat?
Oh, 98%.
Really? And it's not like they're on a diet or anything, so it must be the kind of food they're eating.
Yeah.
Hey, when I first met Faye, I could actually put my hands around her waist and touch my fingers. That's how tiny she was. Now, no way.
But you know what it is? I'm gonna say this. I think that it has to do with the kind of food that there is in a country. And I think
you're right.
Yeah, and that some foods are who was it I was talking to? I'm trying to remember a famous food guy. Oh, Atkins, right?
Yeah.
When he was alive, Bob Atkins
Heart
used to
attack.
used to do my show
I-
at the at WMCA, and I said to Bob, I said, I don't know what it is, but every time I go to Europe, I eat like a pig.
WMCA,
And-
that was a long time ago. I think Bob Atkins was popular in the 80s.
I knew him before he wrote the book.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you just have him on just because he would talk about stuff. Okay. Anyway, Bob, I said, Bob, I don't understand it. I said, I go to Europe, I eat like a pig, I come back, I'm 10 pounds lighter. He said it has something to do with the way the food is grown in a particular country, as to whether it's fattening or not. There are some countries where people eat just as much as you eat, and they don't get fat. And other countries where they do. You come back to the United States, the first thing you notice when you get off the plane is how fat everybody is.
I went to Italy, and somebody told me if you eat pasta fagioli, that that it's protein and you'll lose weight. So in Italy, everybody else is having unbelievable meals. I'm having pasta fagioli. I get back to the States, 12 heavy.
It's pasta fagioli.
Whatever.
Pasta fagioli.
Yeah.
There's some noise going on.
I got to tell you something,
Yeah.
Brie.
What, Bree?
but I can't tell you right now.
Oh.
Let me get the check.
Oh, you have to get the check?
He found something.
Why are you saying?
naked woman
You telling me you
standing.
have to vomit?
I will tell you. Wow.
What?
If I were younger, I would be.
You'd be having such a.
Okay, let me get this. There is a lady who came in all by herself.
That wasn't
shame
the.
on Valentine's
Knock your
Day.
socks off.
Yeah.
It wasn't the lady that was seating the people, right? At the.
No.
No. Okay, she wasn't bad either.
No, I think,
Okay.
I think, Bree, you're living in a country where I would have a very hard time maintaining my marriage.
Hey, this is a Michelin-starred restaurant.
And I'm not big on Asian women, but they all look hot there.
Yeah, Alex, the quote is the following. Well, I have lots of quotes, but one is, all lust is grief.
Yeah,
All that lust is what? Is free.
All lust is free.
he said.
Grief. All lust.
Oh, it's grief. Oh, I see. Okay.
It leads to that,
Oh,
especially if you marry him.
You know what I'm buying myself tomorrow is another light for over here. But it's going to be a bigger light than this one. So
Why don't you go down to Adorama and
that's
pick
where
up
I'm going. That's where I'm going because they have them in stock,
bill.
and I want to pay cash for it.
Yeah.
They're
27.60. So that's what, $6, $7? 4 times
close to
7.
seven. Yeah.
Yeah.
$7. Total after rounding. So they rounded up.
Yeah. They rounded it down.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So how much is that? About $7?
Yeah. And it looked pretty good.
Yeah. I thought the sushi Maras was $17.80. So I must have gotten that wrong.
So let me
Let me
ask
double
you.
check.
You have an apartment in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, it's a house.
I have a house.
House. How many rooms again?
House.
How many rooms?
5
too many.
bedrooms.
What?
5 bedrooms.
5 bedrooms, yeah. And you said you had like 4.5 bathrooms, and you had I don't know, whatever. And how much rent did you say?
Yesterday.
What did you say you were paying for rent a month?
Yesterday. 2 maids. They come to clean the place.
Okay, but how much does the rent?
He said $800 a month last night.
That's right.
I'm moving to Kuala Lumpur. I mean, that's just, you know.
And he's got 2 maids. Do they cook?
No, they just clean.
No, they just clean. Yeah. What is?
But Alex, you're always trying to get it done. And I say, I'm worth every penny. First of all.
Yeah.
But second of all,
Killing me, Bree.
Well, at least 6 pennies.
Oh, who's doing? That's still. No, that's not still.
That's
Oh,
Ray.
that's Ray.
That's Ray showing us some Kuala Lumpur women.
Are those the gals when you go into the bar and they line them up and say, which one?
No. She's obviously selling Fords. I'll buy that car.
You don't even have a parking space.
who was showing Those videos. What is that?
Okay, enough of that, Ray. We got enough problems.
Ray, what do you?
I have enough problems with my prostate being used as a punching bag.
And Ray is now a little. He's gotten something going on there.
Yeah, I monetized this way.
Oh wow! I just saw a woman from behind there. They're gorgeous. They just look at her. Look.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
You guys are terrible.
What do you call a stunning woman in Kuala Lumpur?
A regular gal.
You call a stunning woman in Kuala Lumpur a dog. I mean, it's amazing. Even the ones who are just
to that guy.
Huh?
Now, women are thin, and the size of the guy that just passed.
Yeah.
He made me look thin.
Yeah.
I don't know about
almost.
Oh, there's a skinny guy with a mask.
Wow. There you go.
But I'm at it to meet you, Chinese.
Look, everyone's skinny there.
Yeah, everyone's skinny.
Yeah.
Except for the guys. The guys are fat.
You know why? They got the virus. That's why they're probably all losing weight. They don't know.
Or if they aren't fat, if they aren't the guys aren't fat, but if they aren't fat, their name is. So.
Stalker.
Gong Hei.
Yeah. Oh, there go some guys. They're skinny.
Most of the guys are thin too.
Yeah, they are.
Those are the first ones. The other ones that I've been seeing have been heavy.
Yeah.
In school, we used to say, "What do you call a fat Chinese kid? A chunk."
Guy Morris writes, "Hey Alex, Howard Stern mentioned you on his show a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, he was saying that I was
he did.
I was better than Don Imus or something."
No, he said that. He was saying he listened to you guys on MCA, the good guys.
Oh, really?
He mentioned you first and a couple of the other guys.
Yeah.
I heard it on the.
No, but he said about Don Imus that he had no talent.
Yeah,
if you want to go to somebody with who is a good talk show host, Alex Bennett's a good example, and then he named some other people too.
Yeah,
but he named me first. He did name
me first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I think he said Imus was racist too, to a lesser extent.
What?
I don't know. I think he called Imus racist.
He was.
Well, he is racist, isn't he?
Don't you remember that comment he made about?
Hey, you can fly from San Francisco to Kuala Lumpur for about $700 round trip. Round trip.
Paris and London right now, you can go for like $198.
Well, I may get on a plane immediately and go because I know somebody who's got a place there.
You got some empty rooms.
Empty rooms, yeah.
I'm gonna go cruise that mall.
Yeah,
best place.
Yeah.
I just have to find out when his mother-in-law and father-in-law are coming to visit.
They already left.
Then we'll all go down to the mall. I'll have some of that food, and I'll gain weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray's down by the Stanford.
Yeah.
And I bet you all those MILFs are pretty hot there too.
Do they have single pay?
Yeah, you go to the mall there. It's pretty amazing.
I was going to go down to.
You can
Singapore
sure tell. You can
this weekend.
Yeah.
Because I've got a bank there. I have my bank, and I changed my phone. My Dubai phone went out, and the little token generator I used, the battery died, so I can't log in. Online.
Yeah.
So.
Bree, do you ever work? All you do is eat.
It's lunchtime when he calls in.
Yeah.
Well, because it's my lunch hours, my 2 hours.
2 hour lunch.
2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong country.
Look at that. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Downtown Kuala Lumpur. Anybody who felt that Kuala Lumpur was some kind of backwater in the world, guess again.
I am out of here.
Now, what's the city you're in? Is the city Kuala Lumpur or is that the country?
The country is Malaysia.
Malaysia.
The city
is a city.
Yeah, Kuala Lumpur.
Another mix.
Wow.
Damn.
What's this? Experience what?
Hey, my Social Security spends just as much there as it does here.
What'd you say, Charlie?
I said my Social Security will spend just as well there as it does here.
I bet you they don't tax it there.
You know, I mean, and let's face it. I mean, Bree has a whole house with 5 rooms. You could probably find a place that was nice that had a couple of rooms and pay a lot less, right, Bree?
Oh yeah.
Go to the Bree Airbnb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, okay.
We
How
just.
much how much
Do you know how many
pay?
people are watching this? And we've talked about nothing tonight. Look at that amount of people.
42.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is, I think, the highest it's been.
And
I
nobody
followed-
has written anything that I'm an asshole.
Let me tell you, if I would have followed the gal who was on the escalator, you would have been up to 142.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Find us a good hot woman to follow.
You have 5 minutes. Go find one.
Body
Well,
shop.
you know, this show tonight is the nightmare of the Me Too movement. You know, this is the Harvey Weinstein of podcasts. You know,
they don't even know we're doing it. Come on.
See if they monetize this one, huh?
I want to see if they say you're in trouble for this one because you said something. You know, and I think I said one dirty word tonight.
You said the F word.
Yeah.
Did I say the F word?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, can you say F
And-
word?
I
and you
remember
said
that.
close up.
I remember you said the S word.
S word. Yeah, I said. Did I say the S word or did I say S word?
I know you said the F word for real, but
Yeah, you did.
Uh-huh.
Because I was
Somebody
listening when I
shouted,
was walking.
So it was mixed. There were several voices at the same time, so I don't think they could tell that.
Yeah.
And you know, my camera is through the flip cover. You're not actually getting the direct cover, the direct camera. It's,
Yeah. Well,
there's my
look-
favorite.
Buy some
Crazy.
cake.
like key
Wow.
lime pie.
Well, okay. Well, next time you
Here's
call,
the actual camera.
next time you call, don't take us on a tour anywhere because I can't do this show and
Okay.
and with a hard on. It's
I'll
very
wait-
difficult.
Wait until-
Yeah,
wait till I
no,
get
instead of
to
getting
the place where I actually am having my lunch.
Instead of
Okay.
getting the phone, why don't you just get?
Oh my
Oh,
Steady
wait, wait. Hold on a second. What did you just pass?
Oh,
What did you just turn around? Turn that camera around.
Alex, you are
he's a dog.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
Oh,
With
Oh, she's got
mask.
a mask on. Ask her to take her mask off.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
They all have the mask. I'm afraid of the virus.
Oh, look at that guy.
yeah.
Don't say that's
John.
not serious.
Hey,
You can open up a mask shop and make some money.
instead of getting another phone, get one of those Steadicam things that you can walk around with, and it's a little smoother.
Well, if he were to get himself an iPhone 11, the picture is so steady it's ridiculous. You know.
Wow.
Anyway, that's okay. Hey, listen, thank you, Bree. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, next time I'll be at lunch. I'll make sure I'm seated.
Yeah, but we hit a lot of people tonight.
Yeah.
And that's good. How many are listening to it? I bet nobody's listening to it, right?
YouTube's 43.
Yeah, no. YouTube is now 43.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is. Oh my God, I'm having a heart attack.
Trump-free zone. Told you.
Yeah, Trump-free zone works. Anyway, listen. First of all, thank you very much, Tony, and thank you very much to Bree for the wonderful tour of Malaysian women. And Charlie, thank you, and I'm sure you want to thank Bree too because you seem to have enjoyed it.
Sir.
Ray, good seeing you again, and of course, Phil, terrific seeing you as well. What I think you all should do is probably give a big wave goodbye, okay? And I'll wave back at you. Okay, there we go. That's our citizen panel for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Live from Kuala Lumpur and from Palo Alto, California. It's the Ramble, and I'm hanging up on all these fine people. Hopefully they will call the next show, which will use the same phones. His name is Jack Bishop, and it's called The Intersection. I'll see you again tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.